So let's do a quick role play. And I don't mean a real role play, but you should be role playing all the time. In fact, the only way to get these talk tracks down and the only way to keep the discipline that you need to drive an appointment culture for yourself is to do role plays. So let's do a role play. Let's say that we're making an orphan owner marketing call. This is someone who bought from us, but their salesperson no longer works for us, or there's someone who bought elsewhere but services with us. So let's say we're a Toyota dealer and we're making the call to try to buy back the customer's Tundra. Hey, Mr. Jones, Steve Stauning calling from Century Toyota. Hey, this may sound a little weird, but we actually have a buyer in immediate need for a Tundra configured like yours is. Now, I don't know if you'd consider selling yours to us or not, but what I'd like to do is I'd like to give you a written appraisal on that Tundra, and I don't care if you buy anything from me or not. I just really need your Tundra. Now, I've got 2 appointments open today with my appraiser. I've got a 5:15 and a 5:45. Would either of those work for you? And then we're going to shut up. Now, there are times that this owner is going to be like, yeah, he's kind of thinking of selling. Yeah, I can be at 5:15, so you can give me a written appraisal. But most often they want more information. So we're going to get things like, well, how much are you going to give me, right? They want to know.
How much you going to give me for my Tundra?
Well, Mr. Jones, I can tell you this, only a trained appraiser knows what your Tundra is worth, and it would be irresponsible for a dealer to give you that information over the phone. However, I can tell you that we're often paying above book value for well-maintained Tundras. Now, I've got 2 appraisals open today with my appraiser. I've got a 5:15 and a 5:45. Which one of those works better for you? See, every objection that they have, every question that they have, I'm going to frame the next step. I'm going to have the discipline to come back and say, I have 2 of those open today. Here's the one that's going to catch you on these owner marketing calls. You're calling someone to buy their Tundra, let's say, and they're going to say this.
Well, yeah, I'd like to sell my Tundra, but what am I supposed to drive home?
And you're going to, just like a fish, they're going to hook you, and you're going to fall right into salesman mode, and you've got to stop that. You can't say, oh my gosh, with the deals that Toyota has today, we can probably keep you in the same payment on a 2014, 2015 Tundra, whatever. We got to stop that. We don't want to talk about that. What we can say is this. Well, Mr. Jones, you're going to be shocked at the great values that we have right now and the great offers that we have from Toyota. However, I do have a buyer and an immediate need for your Tundra. Now, I have 2 appraisals open today. I've got a 5:15, a 5:45. Which one of those works better for you? See, we're going to come right back to that. Now, you can talk about, and we'll have you test drive something while you're here, but you don't want to try to sell the car because all you can do is sell the other guy's car on the phone. Let's remember that. Our goal is an appointment that shows. So we have him on the phone. Yes, he's interested in a brand new Tundra. That's great. We'll deal with that when he gets here. We'll have something for him to test drive that's a similar color, right? That maybe is equipped a little nicer. And we're going to say, Mr. Jones, when they get here, Mr. Jones, while we're appraising your vehicle, it's going to take us about 45 minutes to do a proper appraisal on that. What I'd like to do is just get you the keys to this 14 or 15 Tundra, whatever the model year is, get you keys to this Tundra, you can take it out on a test drive, right? So we can inject him with new car fever at that point. You're going to get things like this.
What about my payments?
Well, Mr. Jones, often people can stay in the same payment. However, it'd be irresponsible for a dealer to give that information over the phone. I do have 2 appointments open in my business office today. I've got a 5:15, a 5:45, and that coincides with the appointments that I have with my appraiser. Which one of those works better for you, right? Here's another one you're going to get. And this one you have to have the discipline for.
I can be in tonight. What time do you close?
And right now your team says this. We close at 9. And they wait because they've just given control of the call over to the caller. Your goal is not information. It's not to get information. It's not to give information. Your goal is an appointment that shows. So when someone says, what time do you close? This is our answer every time. Well, Mr. Jones, we close at 9, but our last appraisal tonight is for 7:15. Now I have a 6:45 and a 7:15. Which one of those works better for you? See, the reason that we say it that way is because we don't want Mr. Jones rolling in at 8:45. We're not going to sell him a car. We're not going to be able to properly appraise his trade. Plus, we want to get out of here at 9 o'clock. See, let me tell you about my dentist's office. When they say they close at 4:30, make no mistake, they're turning the key at 4:29 every single day. Your dealership, if you close at 9 on weekdays, you need to be turning the key at 9 o'clock, 8:59. You really do, because you're not going to sell any more cars being there till 11 o'clock every night. You're going to wear your team out. You're going to do poorly on the deals that you do close after 9 o'clock. You're going to make lower grosses most often. You're going to get bad CSI. And you think you're doing the customer a favor, and all they do is they feel that the thing is dragging out, and oh my God, it's 10:30, I'm still at a damn car dealership. So we're going to do the customer a favor, we're going to do your team a favor, and we're especially going to do you a favor. We're not going to set any appointments for any later than an hour and 45 minutes before we close the dealership. So what time do you close? Mr. Jones, we close at 9 o'clock tonight, but my last appraisal appointment is for 7:15. Now I do have a 6:45 and a 7:15. Which one of those works better for you? Okay. And now here's the final talk track that we're going to give you when you're making those owner marketing calls. Let's say today is Monday, and you get a hold of Mr. Jones and you tell him you want to buy his Tundra. And he's excited and he's interested and he says,
Hey, I could be there on Saturday. What time do you open?
Now, right now, this is what your team says. We open at 9. You can't do that. Today is Monday. Saturday is 5 days away. We cannot let this person sit for 5 days with new car fever, because what's going to happen on Monday night, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? He's going to shop. But you know where he's not going to shop? He's not going to shop with us, because he's going to see us on Saturday. So if you say, we open at 9, I've got a 9:15 to 9:45, which one of those works better for you? And he schedules a 9:15, guess what he does between Monday and Saturday? He shops around. And you know what's going to happen? He's going to run into a salesman. He's going to run into a salesman who's going to buy his Tundra and sell him something else. And it's not going to be with you, because he doesn't need to shop with you. He's going to see you on Saturday. And so what you've got to do is have the discipline to understand what my goal is. My goal is an appointment that shows. He's not going to show. All of your appointments need to be set for today or tomorrow, especially if they're an owner marketing appointment. If we just told someone, I have a buyer and an immediate need for your Tundra, and by the way, we do have a buyer. It's our used car manager, and we do have an immediate need, because we're always in an immediate need for great, well-maintained used vehicles, right? And so I have a buyer and immediate need for your Tundra. I just told him that. He's interested, but he says he can't be until Saturday. I need to say this. Hey, Mr. Jones, that's okay. Listen, I've got 5 other Tundra owners on my list to call tonight. If I can't get one of them to sell me their Tundra today or tomorrow, I'll go ahead and call you on Friday, and we'll schedule the Saturday appointment. How's that sound? See, what's going to happen is, more than half the time, he is going to find the time to come in tonight or tomorrow. He'll say something like, well, I can be in tomorrow. And then you say, great, I've got 2 appointments tomorrow morning. I've got a 9:15 and a 9:45. Which one works better for you? See, then we'll go ahead and set the appointment. Remember, our goal is an appointment that shows. But let's say that he works out of town. Let's say he's out of town. Let's say he truly can't come in till Saturday. That's okay. We've tamped down his new car fever on Monday. We can put a note in the CRM. If he calls our bluff and says, well, I can't be until Saturday, so go ahead and call me Friday if you still have a need. Great. We're going to put a note in the CRM for 4:30, 5 o'clock Friday night in the CRM, and then when that note pops up, we're going to make the call. Hey, Mr. Jones, Steve Stauning calling from Century Toyota. Hey, good news. I still have a buyer and immediate need for your Tundra, and I've got two appraisals open tomorrow morning. I've got a 9:15 and 9:45. Which one works better for you? See, and then we're going to set the appointment that shows. Remember, we get them on the phone. We have one goal. It's an appointment that shows.